My name is Eleanor White. I am 74 years old. I live in a small white house at the edge of the town. My husband, Thomas, built this house with his own hands when we were young. He planted pink roses in the front yard. Every spring they bloom beautifully. They remind me of the flowers he used to bring me when we were in love. Thomas and I wanted a child for many years, but it never happened. When I was 39, we adopted a baby boy. We named him Michael. From that day, he became our whole world. We loved him deeply, and he loved us too. I watched him grow from a small baby into a strong young man. Now he is 36 years old. Sometimes I feel life gave us a second chance to be parents. Before Michael moved to the city for a new job, he gave me a small gift. It was a little phone wrapped in blue paper. It had a green call button and a tiny screen with his name on it. "Mom," he said, smiling, "press this green button any time and I will answer." I held the phone carefully. I had never used one before. I felt both happy and nervous. "Promise me you will call every day," I said. "I promise," he replied, holding my hand. "You will hear my voice every day." The first week was beautiful. Michael called every morning. I sat by the window with my tea, waiting for the ringtone. When it rang, my heart felt young again. He told me about his small apartment, his busy office, and the loud city streets. He laughed often, and I laughed with him. The house felt alive again. Sometimes I cooked his favourite food, chicken with mashed potatoes, even though he was not there. I sat alone at the table, pretending he was sitting across from me. At night, I wrote in my diary, "My son's voice fills this house again." But slowly, things changed. One morning, the phone did not ring. I waited all day. In the evening, he sent a short message saying he was busy. I forgave him. One day is fine, I told myself. Then one day became 3. 3 became a week. The calls grew shorter. He sounded tired. Sometimes I heard music or other voices in the background. "Just friends, Mom," he would say. "Don't worry." But I did worry. Weeks turned into months. I still cooked for 2. I kept the phone close all the time. When I cleaned the house, it was beside me. When I watered the flowers, it was in my pocket. At night, I kept it under my pillow. Sometimes it buzzed and my heart jumped. But it was never him. It was a wrong number or a company message. I began writing letters to him in my diary. "Dear Michael, I made your favourite soup today." "Dear Michael, I saw a boy riding a bicycle like you used to." Neighbours asked, "Has Michael visited you?" I always smiled and said, "Yes, he's just very busy." Sometimes small lies feel softer than painful truths. Winter came early. The nights were cold and quiet. The wind made the house creak. One evening I sat near the heater and looked at Thomas's photo on the wall. "Why do you keep waiting?" his smiling face seemed to ask. "Because I promised him," I whispered. Then one rainy night, everything changed. Rain hit the roof hard. I was knitting near the window when the phone rang. The cheerful ringtone filled the room. My hands shook. I quickly pressed the green button. "Michael?" I said softly. There was silence for a moment. Then a man's voice spoke. "Ma'am, are you Mrs. Eleanor White?" "Yes," I answered. "Who is this? Is Michael there?" "I'm calling from Riverdale Hospital," he said gently. "We found your number in a wallet that belonged to your son." My heart stopped. "I'm very sorry," the man continued. "There was an accident 2 months ago. He did not survive." The rain outside sounded louder. I could not speak. I held the phone tightly against my chest. 2 months. I had been waiting for his calls, thinking he was too busy, but he was already gone. That night, I didn't cry. I just sat in the dark, holding the phone. In the morning, I wrote in my diary. Now I understand why the phone was silent. My son was not busy. He was too far away for me to reach. A week later, a small package arrived. Inside were his wallet, his watch, and an old photo of us in the garden. I placed the photo next to Thomas's picture above the fireplace. Then I put the little phone beside them. Every morning I still make tea for 2. I sit near the window and look at the empty chair. "Good morning, Michael," I whisper. "How is the weather up there?" Sometimes when the wind moves the curtains, it feels like someone softly calls my name. I like to believe it is him. I still charge the phone every night, not because I expect it to ring, but because it reminds me that love never truly ends. It only changes its form. And maybe one day, when my time comes, I will hear that ringtone again. And this time, when I answer, it will be my son.